have to confess something, Bob. I'm not a good commodity investor, and because I'm not a good commodity investor, I'm not interested in investing in commodities because I find it so difficult to, even if I find a good company, they're at the whims of a commodity price that I just find difficult to predict. Gold bulls have been saying the same thing about gold all the time, right? Those are the perma bulls, and I know that you're not a perma bull, but they make the same arguments the same time. And then it just happens, sometimes investors are paying attention to that argument and sometimes they're not. So, and you know this probably better than I do, there are whole swaths of portfolio managers just put commodities away in a box and feel the way that I do, that it's just sort of this sector that is really tricky to invest. Let's go back to Kellogg's, yeah, there's some commodity inputs, but at the end of the day, it's just like marketing and putting out a good product. And there's a lot that's in your control.
Right. And if you had invested in the commodity sector 50 years ago, you'd probably be around the same level now as you were at that time, right? Because it's so cyclical. But the fact is that when the bull market happens, it's so incredible, the gains, that you have to understand it. You have to go with the bull market and then take those profits and redeploy them at some time because it's so cyclical. And I did a book years ago, and Eric Sprott was in the book, and I asked Eric. He ran the Sprott managed accounts for many years and didn't invest a lot in commodities. He owned 10% of Taser at one point and growth stocks, but around 2000. He became a gold and silver bull, obviously. But I asked him, I said, what do you like about the mining sector? And I think this pertains to your question here. He said, there's no other sector in the world where the highs are so high and the lows are so low that the difference between the highs and the lows is 10 times. He said, there's no other sector in the world like that. And if you can somehow get somewhere near the bottom, it doesn't even have to be right at the bottom, and somewhere near the top,